Hi, my name is Tom Wilgum, and we are here live in the ASUG News Studio at TechEd and Decode in Las Vegas. And I'm delighted to have two great guys in here to talk about design, one of whom is my boss, so I will give you all the good questions, and Sam Yen from SAP, who's leading the design effort. Sam, welcome into the studio.
Thank you very much.
And to Sam's right is Geoff Scott, whom you may know is ASUG CEO. Geoff, welcome back.
Good morning, Tom. How are you today?
Good morning. Great to see you again.
Great.
So there were some exciting announcements yesterday happening during your keynote in the afternoon. Sam, can you give us just a recap of some of the most important things that you think customers should take away?
Yeah, I think what I wanted to do was really talk about this journey that we've been on from an SAP perspective, and to take a look at it from a broader perspective, because I think it's not just an SAP journey from features to experience, but it's something that I think is hitting the entire IT industry. We talked a little bit about Fiori and how it's gone, in a little over a year from just a small set of apps to something now which is the convergence of all of SAP's experiences across all of our different products. And what I wanted to make sure that people understood was that as we're moving things like the different SAP cloud technologies also towards Fiori, we expanded our definition of Fiori to allow for kind of different technologies and different designs. But fundamentally, the concept of Fiori, and which is something that I wanted to kind of make sure that the crowd understood.
Yep.
It's also what I feel to be a paradigm shift from a functionally siloed approach to the experience to something that's really user-centered and cuts across functional silos, allows the end user to pick and choose the bits and pieces that they need to complete their holistic experience and provide a modern and consistent and coherent experience around that. So those are some of the main announcements.
That's great. I mean, it's been such a great journey, and ASUG's been along, I think, for some of the ride during the past 6 months or so. Geoff, what was your take?
Well, I do want to take a moment, Tom, and on behalf of the whole user community and the ASUG membership, I think we are so lucky to have Sam championing the whole revitalization of the user experience. When you think about, what many customers today see in their SAP application platform and where Sam is taking them, I think that the journey is brilliant. And I think that Sam, we're lucky to have Sam, and SAP is extremely lucky to have Sam. A year ago, thinking about Fiori and Personas and how we can really engage the absolute end user of SAP's products in a user experience that they want to use, one that is consistent with an interface that they would use on their daily mobile devices, is huge. And I think it's a great opportunity to really bring a modern day ERP and all of, not just ERP, but as Sam talked about yesterday, Ariba and Fieldglass and Hybris, and bring all those experiences together under one common unifying framework, I think is amazing.
Geoff, do you think that our average ASUG members are getting the Fiori message? Do you think they're getting it?
I think we've been talking about it a lot. I think it's something that trickles in over time, and I'm starting to feel this momentum. I'm starting to see a shift. As Sam talked yesterday about almost 5,000 downloads of the Fiori app. I think that's amazing. I'd love to see that have a couple more zeros behind it, and that would be even more exciting. And I think we as a user community have an obligation to help drive that adoption, and we've been blogging about it, we've been doing webcasts about it. We've started up an influence council as well to kind of help shape the future of the Fiori and Personas and the whole user experience. And I think those are tremendous steps forward in the overall adoption journey. And it's interesting, and Sam, you touched on this yesterday, most technology organizations have never really thought about user experience and what that means, and now we're giving them these amazing tools that allow them to take some control of that, and that's a very different journey to go on, and a huge departure. I think it's very empowering.
Yeah, no, to add that to that, it's also going to be a change, right?
Yeah, it's a change.
It's not just a technology solution. When you're talking about trying to create a better user experience for end users, you need to bring in different types of skills. It needs to be kind of a different type of engagement that the IT organization has to have with the businesses and ultimately the end users.
Yep.
And that's an important concept, and it takes a while to bring that kind of change management into organizations.
It does, and I think that just before we went on air, Ann Rosenberg was here, and she leads the University Alliances program, and I think there's amazing things happening within that program to bring these tools into a university environment so that as organizations think about hiring that next generation of talent, I'm hopeful that that talent already comes to the table with some of these design capabilities already ready to go, and I think that's great.
I think, yeah, we need to approach it from both angles. I think the next generation leaders will come into this organization, hopefully, empowered and inspired to be able to make impact and make change. At the same time, the existing people in those organizations, right? They need to kind of understand what it is to make themselves successful and also to create the right environment for those next generation leaders.
Yep, absolutely.
How is adoption going? Jeff mentioned a number before. Is there other adoption metrics that you're looking at?
Yeah, I think it's steadily improving, but it's not going fast enough, from my approach. And I feel from an SAP perspective, we also need to do more to enable that. It's become very clear that from the end user experience perspective, we're getting great feedback about that. But it's not just about the user experience, it's about the end-to-end experience, and the implementation experience is definitely one of the things that we're working very hard to improve, because ultimately the goal is adoption.
Yep.
We need the end users to actually start using this. And right now, we are working on things. There's a project that's called FIX, Fiori Implementation Experience. There's a project called Fiori Lifecycle Management. And those are all tools that we're trying to do to improve the adoption, to make it easier for partners and customers to get these things into the hands of end users.
Yep.
Can ASUG do more? I mean, what can we do more to help you?
I think you guys are doing.
We absolutely could, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah. And I still think that we are figuring out how to activate the community. Yeah. So I think we've made great strides. Yeah. I think there's a tremendous amount more we could do, Tom. And I think you're going to see us do some things in 2015 that bring some additional capability to bear that help to accelerate this curve as well, because I think this is one of the foundational elements of where we need to be in the future years as a community.
I think we're starting to see those initial success stories and the ability, from an ASUG perspective, to amplify those success stories, to learn about the lessons learned, and to really kind of help customers be successful quickly, right? Because the customers that are successful, that have adopted it, that have gone live, are great references, and they love to tell the story.
Yep.
And we just want to kind of make sure that the experiences of new people that are trying this out just run very, very smoothly, so that they could also be amplifiers in the community.
And when we were out in Palo Alto in June, and Tom, you were there as well, actually I think it was July, and we had one of our board members who's actually an end user of SAP products, and when Rudy saw what was being done with the Fiori and Personas application, he lit up like a Christmas tree, right? And he was so animated about what this could do, and he said, I'm going to bring this back to my IT organization, make sure they understand this, and that they're going to do something about it. So to see the end user of SAP products get that animated about the technology and the solutions, I thought was very powerful.
Absolutely, I was there. It was stunning to see him do that.
It was, and he's very passionate about it.
Yes. So Sam, we'll give you the last word here as we wrap up. Any cool things you wanted to mention for 2015? What's on the horizon for your team?
Yeah, I think expanding the user experience, continuing to do things to move the cutting edge of how to bring that consumer-like experience across all of SAP solutions. You'll start to see kind of, again, this harmonization across different types of SAP solutions as well. And then tools to really kind of allow for the scaling of that design process, right? Not just for the designers, not just for the developers. We showed a tool called Drive as well, which allows developers to use templates to be able to create next generation Fiori experiences, but also get that feedback early on from the people that they're actually going to be developing that solution for. So you'll see that end-to-end experience start to be covered, and not just the end user experience in 2015.
Absolutely. Well, we will check in next year at this event, and we'll see how we've done in the past year. I'm going to hold you guys to it.
We're on board, absolutely.
All right, thanks guys. For more customer stories and more SAP interviews, please go to asugnews.com.